Hi, welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Today I'm going to show you how I made these cute little gift boxes. I used some recycled material. This one was a crystal light box, and on this one I have used the brown paper bag to make the windows, and I used a gel print to cover the box with. And I did not gesso the box. Depending on what paper you use, you may need to use gesso. This was a piece of the deli paper that's kind of waxy. It did just fine. I just wrapped it like a present, and I used my art glitter glue to glue it on the edges. I punched a hole in the top. I took the existing box parts in, and I could put I could put like peppermint candies for the kids. I could do a gift card if I wanted to make one and put a gift card in it. Great teacher gifts, or someone you just want to recognize at Christmas and you don't want to spend a lot of money. You can do that. This one I used a Jello box, a sugar-free Jello box, and on this one I used the brown paper bag, the inside. And this one was a little bit hard to work with. The paper is a little bit heavy, and it was a little bit harder to manipulate the paper. So just be aware of that. There were some places where I actually used masking tape, and then I come back and I used the art glitter glue over it. But this could hang on a tree and just be a cute little whatnot house. So this is just a continuation of my house making. I used glitter and puffy paint on this one, and I had some sequins that were in some things that my daughter had sent me. This was the clear, I think you can see the glitter a little bit. This was the clear glitter glue from Walmart. So it wasn't anything very expensive. I have less than $10 in supplies. But today I went by the Dollar Tree. I went with my daughter to an appointment. I went by the Dollar Tree, and they actually have this faux snow. Now, before I open this package, I'm gonna tell you this is like a craft nightmare getting ready to happen. I don't know what I'm gonna put it in. I do know that whatever I do, it's going to be extremely messy. It's very cold today and windy, and I was outside, so it's probably going to stick to everything on me due to static electricity. But it looks pretty. It's got white, it's got some blue little flecks in it, and some gold. So it's kind of interesting, and I think that for $1.25, I think it might add to these little houses. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a couple of those boxes. So give me just a second. I'm going to reach behind me, grab the bag. And I will tell you, if you use the puffy paint, do not try to do anything with it once you put that puffy paint on, because I put it on a little bit on the thick side, and it did take it a little bit to dry, so I left it overnight. So just be aware of that. But this one, I mean, it was so easy. It really was easy. And these were gel prints that I had made one day when I was playing live with Michelle Waltz. So if you want to see how those prints were made. So here's what my box looks like before I start. And this one really was easy. I don't think that any of them are going to be terribly hard, but I've saved the different packaging, so there's some different shapes. I thought I had another Jello box, but I'm not seeing it. So yeah, these are from water flavor packs. And I'm going to put this out of the way so it's not rattling. And hope there's no cravalanche. So I am going to reach into this little bag here. I've got all kinds of stuff that I've done. And I know I'm calling them gingerbread houses, but they also could be just houses. This one I thought, this page I really like. It's crazy, but it's kind of out there with the colors, but I think it might actually be interesting, so we're going to play with that one. And the main reason that I switched to the gel prints is the paper, the thickness of the paper is a little more user friendly. I can do a little better with it. So let's see. And I'm not measuring because it's not going to be that big of a deal either way. I am just eyeballing this. And basically you're going to do this just like you would if you were wrapping a gift. I mean, it's that simple. But I am going to try this time. I'm going to try something just slightly different. And I do have a big paper cutter, but I don't know that I need to drag that out. On this one, I am going to actually brush my glue mixture onto the box and see if it actually helps it, makes it more manageable. Because I noticed when I just used the, when you're making the first of something and you've not seen anybody else make it, you've got to play with the materials and figure out how they work. And on this one, I did just glue the seam here, and I feel like this is a little bit on the loose side. I mean, it's not going to take away from the project, but I think I would be happier if that was secured. I'm going to get a brush for my glue here. Okay. And I've loosened it so it wouldn't be, I had it off yesterday. Daggone it. Alright, hold your ears, okay? Oh my goodness. If my hands cooperate, they're cold and cranky today. Oh man. There we go. Thought I was going to have to call for help. Help would have come running. I tell you, my family's good about that. They know I have trouble with my hands. So, like I said, we're going to do it like a package. We want to make sure that we have enough to cover the flaps and such. So, I'm going to start by doing the back side. And this should work with just any kind of box. You can turn, a macaroni and cheese box into like a little gingerbread house. You could turn a, let's see, what other kind of boxes could you use? I've focused mostly on the small ones. Oh, like I order French onion soup, and it comes in a nice package. It's not too thick. It would be capable of holding goodies. So if you were doing cookies, if you wanted to put cookies in the box, you might want to use something that would be a little bit bigger. But you can make all kinds of little magical houses and create your own little town, little cozy cottages. I think I'm going to stand some of these up on my mantle. And I think that somebody in my house is going to get a gift in them. I think that the girls are going to get some some fun stuff in there because they're getting to where they're old enough now, they know what they want. And it's really hard to buy clothes for them because they like different things. And I've just given up. It's very difficult to hit on that just perfect thing for them. So I tend to we get them gift cards or for places they like to shop. That way they have the money when they need it. And you see I'm putting my hands in just so I can get that to lay down like I want it to. And where that is, do I want to? Yeah, I want to cut that off. Because it's a lot different on that edge. And this was just something throwing paints on the page, on the gel plate. I mean, I really did not have a particular goal in mind on that. And I'm going to re-glue this because I want to make sure that that's going to stay down tight. Now, I'm going to cut little notches in this just because I think it'll lay a little bit better. And that's what I did on the others. If I was wrapping a package, I wouldn't do that. I'd just tuck them in and roll with it. But I want it to be able to stand up, so I'm going to put my little pieces in first and get them rubbed down very good. And let's put some glue over top on that. And if I put just a little dab of glue there, that's going to help that to lay down even better. All right. So we have pretty good, that turned out all right. Got a little bit of overlap there. We're going to get rid of that. All right. Now I'm going to rub that, give it a real good rub. And I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut my notches. And I'm not being real picky about this because when I did my samples yesterday, I found out that I didn't have to be exact because I tucked the extra stuff. What extra stuff I ended up with, I tucked it. So I'm going to pull this back because it's starting to get a little dry. Add a little bit more glue there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some glue on that seam. And I'm going to put some glue on this paper. And it doesn't have to be a good coating of glue. And am I overlapping it? All right, that one's done. Now let's do this one. We're going to put glue on the edge. All right, we're going to hold that back behind. I'm going to find the edge and I'm going to roll this down and I'm going to smooth it out so that it's got a nice feel to it. It's not messy. It's going to be a little neater that way. All right. I'm going to go over Find our edge, tuck it, give it a little rub. I found that I used my thumb. It worked pretty good on these on the inside. And I am liking the look of this one. It's kind of wild and crazy, but that's okay. We can be wild and crazy. Our little houses can be anything that we imagine they will be. And if you don't have a lot of different supplies, don't worry. You can use your markers. I used a jelly pen, a white gel pen from Walmart. And then I had some permanent markers that I used to make the wreaths. And then I used a Crayola marker for the bows. So you don't have to have any extra, really big extra stuff. And this is even a craft that you could do with your kids. I miss the days when we would sit at the table and make our little gingerbread houses. We would use, everybody got like a little piece of foil wrapped, we would wrap a piece of cardboard, a small piece of cardboard. We would wrap it in foil, and then we would put what we made our gingerbread houses out of would be graham crackers. Now, on this part, what I did is I kind of crunched it together, pushed it down, and pulled the tabs together so that I could line my hole up for it. And I wanted to do that before I started putting anything on it, so I would have that hole in there when I'm working it. And I know that looked hard. That's because my hands are cold and they're cranky. But it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard to do. And that little piece is kind of flipped up, so I'm gonna see if I can trim that just a tiny bit so it's all even. Okay. So there it is. I've got my base for this one. It's all done. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move these out of the way. Try to get them out of the way. My desk is not clean. It's a little bit messy, and it's going to get even more messy here in a little bit because I'm going to be streaming and working with beads today. So you'll find me over hanging out with Michelle Waltz, and I'll put her link in. We are going to play today, and we are going to play with some beads because she said she had too many beads and didn't know what she was going to do with them. And I said, well, let's get them out and play with them. So that's what we're going to do today. I like that page, but it's not enough, so let's put that back. Ooh, look at this. That's some fun grunge. I think that'll work just fine. This is a way that you can use your gel prints, your I'm not so happy with those kind of prints, or you know that they're not quite finished, or you just like them because they're grungy. This will look like probably end up looking like an old Victorian house with some chippy paint on it. And that is something that is good, that I can find a way to use my prints. Because they're not all, these were all just play. I was playing with some paints. I had some texture on it. There was stuff left on the plate, so this is what ended up happening. Matter of fact, I think I don't know if you can see it, but there's the word joy in it. Can you pick it out? There's the J, O, and the Y. So if I'm clever, I may be able to get that to be positioned well. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I get that positioned so that it really looks nice on there. Okay, where I've trimmed this around and got the white off, I don't think I'm going to need to do anything else to it. Let's find it again. Where's my joy? Don't take my joy. I think it's going to have to go this way. And whoever receives this may never notice that, but I know it's there. And joy is my favorite word. My very favorite word. Okay. Alright, so let's get this box brushed with glue. And you don't have to be real careful about this. My glue mixture is, if you haven't seen my videos before, my glue mixture is nothing but simple. Simple. Turn it the other way, Lisa, because you know that that's where it needs to be. Alright. Now, can we center it? Yeah, maybe. We can get that stuck good on that one side so we can have that joy right there. Alright. So what are you working on today? Are you having fun? Have you been busy? I started out with a busy morning. We had painters here at 8:30 this morning. And they had told me they probably wouldn't be here till 11 because it was supposed to be extremely cold this morning. But they come on to work. And they're almost finished now. They're painting the outside of the house. They got up there on the ladders yesterday, and it was extremely chilly. And the wind was blowing. I just didn't think they were going to come with it being like that, but they did. They come and they showed up, and they're getting it done. And they've been working really hard on it, so it's kind of nice to have somebody come in and take care of things for you. It's not necessarily cheap, but my husband's very, very scared of heights, so it works out pretty good for us just to have them to come and do some of the house. We can do some of it, but we can't do it all because it's very high. Because you got a garage, a main floor, and then an upper level. So by the time you get to that upper level, you're about 16 to 18 feet up. And neither one of us do a ladder that tall. We just don't do it. It's not that we're cowards, but it's more of a safety issue at this point. You know, at our age, you don't do things that you don't have to do. Or things that make you feel unsafe, so. Alright. Now before I tuck that, I need to get this piece right here. That's not looking so good. Yeah. And you notice I'm just smoothing this out as I go along with my thumb, my fingers, trying to keep things, you know, as smooth as I can. But on this one I got it a little bit wet and it's a little bit textured, but that's okay. It does not have to be perfect. I've decided that perfection sometimes can be overrated if it takes away from the joy of creating. So we just roll with that. That's what I believe, and that's the way I act. So if you need perfection, you do it. You go for it. But that's not where I'm at. That's not the way I roll. And a lot of that has to do with some days I just can't manipulate papers, and my hands don't want to do things. So you just work with what you got. It's better to work with it and accept it. If it's, something that you struggle with, it's better to work with it and not get frustrated, because we're not all in the same place in our lives. We're not all in the same season, and we have to learn to work with what we got, because as you age, things do change. And the more willing you are to accept those changes, the happier you're going to be. If you want to be miserable, you can be miserable. I've seen people like that, and they're not living their best life. But me, I want to do the best I can. I want to be the best I can and enjoy what I do, and do it because I enjoy it, not because I have to, because I want to. And that come up a little bit short. Let me see if I can stretch it out a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah, that's better. Got a little hang off here, so we're gonna snip that off. I'm gonna snip that off right there. It's a little bit long. And let's kind of rub that down. That piece right there is needing a little more glue, so let's get that done. Alright, so we have that done. And there's my word joy right there. Okay. Got to figure out how I want to do this. Speaking of changes, yesterday I went and picked up something that was long overdue. I have had problems with ringing in my ear for since before COVID. And basically they told me, well, the only thing we could do is give you a hearing aid and hope that it might help. Well, since then, I've also lost some of my hearing in my other ear. So yesterday, I went over and I picked up my first pair of hearing aids. Now, it's not that I'm proud of them, necessarily, but I can hear now. And my family was looking at me yesterday like I was crazy. My oldest daughter came over and we all had dinner together. And she was kind of whispering to my other child, my other daughter. She said, Mom's not talking so loud today. Yeah, I said, yes, because I can hear. And she was like, you heard me whispering? I loved it. It was so funny. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Right now they've got white noise going into my ear where it rings all the time. And I am trying to adjust to it. I may have to put a different sound in. And they can put an ocean sound. There's several sounds that they've got that we can choose from. So I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes and see if I do need to do something different. He said some people can adjust to it and some just can't. So right now I'm kind of liking it because I can adjust it up or down, and depending on the pitch that my ear is ringing at, which is usually a very high pitch, I can adjust it and tweak it just a little bit so I don't have to have quite as much noise in the ear. But that was kind of I finally just decided that, I'm not hearing well at all. And the ringing causes me to hum a lot and always have noise on because it drives me crazy. I mean, it really gets on my nerves. And so I've found ways to cope with it because I've had it going on for so long. So I'm kind of happy to be trying another method, and I'm hoping that it works out pretty good. But we won't know. I'm going to wear them a couple of weeks before I go and get my first adjustment. But right now, it seems like it's making a big difference in my overall hearing. Even though I'm not hearing anything but white noise in my right ear, but I do, I'm getting the aid is doing its job on the left ear and doing what it needs to do to help me hear better. I know it's making a difference because my husband looked at me. He said, "You heard me. You actually heard me." He thought I was just ignoring him, but I wasn't hearing him. If we weren't in the same room, I would hear like muffled sounds, and I'm like, whatever, because I assume he's talking under his breath, or he wasn't projecting that at me or trying to say something to me. But luckily, insurance helped pay for them, so hopefully they'll hold up pretty good. They say generally the battery is rechargeable, and I just put it, like when I put my phone down on the charger at night, I put my hearing aids on the charger. And he said once you put them on, they'll stay good for about 24 hours. So we'll see. We'll see how they hold up. All right, we've got number 2 made. That needs to go down better. There we go. That needs a little more glue. Come on back out of there, buddy. You're not stuck. All right. If you get overlap and it's not wanting to fold down your flap, just give it a little snip. It's okay. You've not messed anything up. All right. Now they go down. Almost. There we go. And if you want to put your flaps, if you want them to be shaped like the flap is, it's fine. You can, kind of fake it out. Because like these, you have your tab, so you have one that goes over and one that goes in. And if you wanted to make it just a flat box, you could do it that way. If you just want to make it into a gift box. But if you're making, trying to make little ginger houses or ginger house wannabes, okay. I didn't think about it, but I probably could have gotten my crocodile out. But since this is cardboard, I didn't think I would need it. But I probably could have punched the holes a little easier. Oh, okay. Hurry up and wait, Lisa. Hurry up and wait. That's over. It's messy looking there. You could also use like the little milk cartons the kids get at school for this. Or you could even, if you were just going to make them to sit around, you could actually use juice boxes, I do believe. My kids love juice boxes, especially my youngest one. She liked the apple juice. Okay. So this one may or may not have a hole today. Oh, good gracious. Okay, maybe if I let it dry, it might not be so hard. Oh, wait, I got it divided out now. I think I might can do this. Let's just do one at a time, since they're marked now. Oh, yeah. Okay. Woo! Not trying to sound like Ric Flair. Okay? Don't think I sound like Ric Flair. We were watching a YouTuber, of car accidents. And there was one, and the lady was going, woo! Woo! Sounded like she had Ric Flair in the car with her. We were cracking up. It was just funny. Okay. Alright, I think that's good to go. Now this one has almost dried, so I think I can go ahead and do some work on it. I am going to, I picked this up at the Dollar Tree. And when I say dollar store, you know it's $1.25 now in the States, so I don't know what it is where you are, but that's what it is. I found it in the craft section, and I thought, oh, that'll probably be kind of cute. Make a house look fun. It's not like I had a million things here already. Can you see it? It's got little glittery pieces. So we can make a door out of that. There's the door. And let's see, that's 3, 4, 5. So let's say 3 for the windows. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. I don't know. No, I think I'm going to do that. I think 4 is going to be enough. What if I put it like that? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's better right there. 4. Now, one thing that I'm going to have to decide is if I do this, how am I going to attach it? What kind of glue is going to work the best? And I'm hoping that the art glitter glue will do it. If not, I will probably pull out a hot glue gun. Have to let them dry and pull out a hot glue gun. But I'm going to try the art glitter glue first. So I have my door and my windows. And I think I love art glitter glue. I had tried some other stuff, for fine and gluing and quick drying. I don't know that you can get anything better. At least not the way I feel. I go through it a lot. think the little fine tip helps me not be quite as messy. No, I didn't get enough on that one. I don't really want to get Fabri-Tac out. Every time I get into that, it just tears my hands up. They already are very dry. I think this is going to look like a little princess, a house for a little princess. One of my girls loved blingy stuff. She still likes anything that blings. And the other one is a little bit different. She likes more earthy things, I think. She'll get dressed up sometimes, but she's not much into the super glittery things. Just playing around here to see what I might do here at the top. Got this stuff now. I gotta play with it. Alright, so if I do that, can I do it to where I don't have to cut another piece? That needs to be centered over the door. What do you think? Can you see it? And once the box is dry, I will probably go around the windows and the doors to kind of highlight make a frame for them, since it's so colorful. Now, little fine motor things like this are, I can't mess with things much smaller than this. They're a little bit what I would call kind of testy. They test my patience. I used to have the patience of a saint, but somewhere along the way, I forgot about that. That's when I have to be humbled and accept help when I need it. Ask for help when I need it. Hey, those are the same. Let's flip that around. There you go. That's better. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is where some insanity is going to start. So, before I start, let me just dump the stuff out of this little box. Let's see if I can. I don't guess that's going to matter. Okay. This is going to be where I shake the stuff out of the snow. We're going to let it snow on the house. And that means I need my brush. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to brush the front, the top. And I'm not going to make it even. I'm going to kind of make it a little jagged. And I'm going to go ahead and do the back side as well. But I'm not going to do those tabs that are going to the inside. I'm not going to do those, I don't think. Although, I will do, yeah, I will. I'm going to do them. I'm going to do them. She's doing it. She's doing it. All right. Well, it's time to get the craft herpes out. When my youngest daughter was small, she heard the older girls. We carpooled with a couple of families that went to the same school that our girls did, and we had to take them and pick them up. So I did the morning run, and we were on our way to school, and they had something in their science class about herpes, and Zoe was just a little child, and she thought they were talking about Herbie the love bug. It was so funny. We laughed so hard. Now, I'm not going to try to do this very extremely heavy because you know what will happen to it. I will have these downstairs in the living room, and we will be vacuuming them up for the next year just like we will pine needles. So we're going to be conscious of that as we apply the glue. Okay, so yes, now we have a little bit of snow on the house. And I'm going to stand that up just for a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and do the snow on this one. And then we're going to fix its little doors. And I will probably go back and put some on the bottom of that. I didn't think about doing that at first. So that will probably be a final step thing. Well, so far I'm not doing too bad. I'm managing to keep it in the box for the most part. Oh, I didn't put glue on that one. Whoops. All right. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Okay. First attempt didn't go too bad. I got a little bit of glitter or snow glitter stuff on the desk. Let's see if we can. Okay, if I bring it over to this side, I'm closer to the edge. So let's see if we can get it in its container here. There we go. Except for that dot don't go there. Whoops. Alright, in the trash you go. Now, when you get your paper bag, your grocery bag, and you use the inside of the paper bag to make any of your little houses or house tags, keep the handles, because that is what I used yesterday to make doors with. And I also made windows. And this one, I think, has a diagonal part. So let's see if we can do a little custom window making here. Now when you open these up, they're about 4 layers thick. And you don't want to use the full thickness. So let's go ahead and start peeling this. Alright, that's got the first layer opened up. Here is my second layer. And on this one, I'm going to have to cut across the top, and I'm going to need to cut across the bottom. Now, if I'm smart and I pay attention to what I'm doing, look what's going to happen. I'm able to get 4 upper windows out of this one little tiny piece. They're not all exactly the same, and that's okay. But now they're thin. They're not too thick for them to be glued down, because if you try to put the full thickness down, what I experienced was it did not work well. It wanted to roll up and come off. So my experimental activities yesterday will save you from making the same mistake, I hope. And here's my windows. I'm going to pull this open. And the glue's strong, but it's not, I mean, I'm not really struggling that hard to get it undone. Alright, there's one window. Done. There's a second window. Done. And there's 2 more. And I've got a little envelope in my house container that I can put these in and save them. So I've got my door, and it's in multiple parts too. So let's go ahead and divide it out. And this is something that I got for free at the grocery store. I just told them I wanted paper for my groceries. So if you go to a store where you can get paper bags, get those paper bags so you can use them for your little houses. Alright, so this will make, I'll cut it in half first. Alright, we're going to separate it out. Here's 1 door, 2, and 3. And this one is going to come up a little bit on the narrow side. But I'm going to set that aside. It's a little bit too narrow for a door. And I'm just eyeballing these. These are not specific measurements. I'm just, doing what I think will work for the size of the house. Trying to keep things kind of proportional. Alright, so that one, could make it look like a little house in Charleston. Yeah, I think I like it that way. Let's go with that. And another thing I thought about, and I have not tried it yet, but I think that you could also take like your plastic containers, or if you've got something that's plastic that you can use a marker on, you could actually make like a stained glass if you wanted to. I have not tried it yet, but I think it will work. In theory, it should work, because we do have plastics that we can draw on with the markers. And that might give a really cool look, especially if you wanted to have it look kind of like old English or something, old school. Like I'm in Scotland and I'm looking at the old buildings and I see these random stained glass windows like over the top of a kitchen window, and I think it's just really pretty. So, one of my thoughts that I've had is to try doing a stained glass, and I'll try it and see what happens. It may not be a full video. It may just be one of those little shorts that I put up, but I'm just trying to get these out for you before Christmas so that you can maybe take the idea and run with it. And you know, I call them trashy houses, not because they're trashy or dirty, but because I'm using trash or recyclables. And I think I love doing that. I love being able to take something that would have been trash or would have not been used and turning it into something that can be appreciated in an artful way. So that's that. Now, I know that's a wonky window, and I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. I think that I'm going to put a little bit more detail on it. And I have a feeling that I'm almost certain I've got these little tiny Christmas lights that were a necklace that broke. And I think, I told a story, sorry. I do have glitter all over me already. Anyway, I think I've got like some little Christmas tree lights that I'm going to be able to use too. But this is what I did. I just made simple lines. And I didn't worry about going all the way to the edge, and I'm not worrying about being perfectly straight. They can be wonky. It's okay if they're wonky. It doesn't bother me. And I think this door is going to have a window up here at the top. We're going to make it a shaker style. And it's going to have a panel. Another panel. Got a doorknob. See, I'm getting my window frame around it, which is going to whiten it up. And this is a jelly, it's called Jelly Roll. This is an inexpensive pack of gel pens from Walmart. I think it came 3 in a pack, and I'm still using the first one. I've been using it for about 3 months now. So they were not very pricey. If you've got Posca pens or other types of pens, you know, those are going to work on this. You can use just about anything. Anything. And if you don't have the markers, use your paints. You can brush this on. I mean, we're just doing simple lines. Okay, now let's do, how do we want to do this? Alright, now let's see, we're going to mark that off right there. And I'm sorry I've gone over my usual time. I knew this was going to take a little bit longer, but I did want to at least do 2 of them for you. That's why I did the samples yesterday, so I would know kind of how I needed to roll with it. Now, if you're more comfortable putting your frames and all that on it before you glue it, you can do that. I just didn't know exactly what I was going to use, and I figured if I glued it down, I would be better off in the long run because I didn't want to, you know, smudge anything. All right. So there you have it. We've got a couple of little houses. And I think they're going to be cute. Now the only thing left to do on this one is I probably want to put something here, and I think I'm going to do a flower pot. So let's see. Let me see if I can get a blue one. Let's go with the dark blue. And this is just a Sharpie. Alright, so we got our planter. We're going to get our green marker. And I think we're going to try to make it look like a little Christmas tree in there. Yes, I'm just squiggling. And it's okay that I'm squiggling because I don't draw well. Alright, that looks nice. Now let's see. I wonder if, I don't know if the yellow gel pen will show up there or not. So here's the little box. Got panels on my doors. Got cute little windows. Now, the only thing left to do on this is to put a ribbon through it. So I need to decide what kind of ribbon it's going to get. It's not going to be, I've got red everywhere. I'm not going to do a red one. Actually, I think I'm going to go with the, that's a piece of fabric scrap. Ah, that's okay. Who cares, right? Waste not, want not. That's right. All right, let's push that on through. Make sure we got it long enough to give us a little playroom to get it through. I think we do. Okay. Sturdy. I snip that, drop that back down in my scrap bag. And I'm gonna thread it through with the knot at the back. And I've got my hole made already, so that's not gonna be a problem. If I was putting candy in it, I would fill it up first. Bring this through. Now push my knot through. And pull up. And I'm not going to tighten that all the way, but here you have the finished product. You've got your little gingerbread house. You've got your snow on the top. You got your ribbon to hang it by or to act as a seal. Now this one still needs some work. And I'm not sure, let's see. We'll take the gel pen on this and we're just going to make a door square it off here so that it has its frame. Alright, we're going to frame out the windows. right, there we go. We got it framed out. And I think we'll go ahead and do some more little trees here. Sorry for the rattle. In all honesty, it's something under my desk. What, you may ask? I don't have a clue. And I'm not going to look right at the moment. So just let it be a mystery. Alright, I'm going to put little ornaments on this one. Like little red ornaments. Alright, there you have it. Let's see, that one's a little bit fatter. It needs a little bit more there. Alright, so let's see what ribbon we're going to use on this one. I think this one is actually going to get this was some ribbon that my daughter brought over. And some of the stuff that she cleaned out of her craft closet because she needed to reorganize it. So all her craft stuff came here. And she told me, she says, okay, you can use it. So, you know, we got glitter, bling, colors. I think it'll kind of go with the rainbow effect I got going on here. Alright, I'm going to push my tabs down. And I'm going to pull it through. Remember to keep your knot in the back, because it just looks neater. If you end up with your knot in the back or on top, it turns out prettier, I think. And it will seal it up. That's still a little damp where the snow is, so I'm not going to pull it all the way tight. But there you have it, you know, just that quick. And a few little things glued on. You got shimmer and shine. It's magical. Very fitting for the season. And I hope you've enjoyed the little trashy houses. And be on the lookout for more. I've still got some boxes to go. So that's what my little village is looking like right now. Let's put that one in the middle. So that's what's going on here. As always, I want to say thank you for coming by. By now, I may have hit 300 subscribers. I was very close a few days ago, and I had a few people to come on over and join my channel. So if you see that you're not subscribed, if you consider subscribing, I would appreciate it. I'm not trying to be monetized or anything like that, but it makes me happy to see that people are actually watching and enjoying my videos. So I thank you for coming by. I hope you enjoy the little trashy houses. I'll put the hashtag in the bottom. It'll be there for you, and you can click on it. And if you do make the houses, you know, go ahead and add that hashtag. And if you're in the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artist group, if you post it there, or there's several other groups that we can post it to, you know, just share it all over. I'll be happy to see them. So I look forward to that, and until the next time, be well, my friends. Bye-bye.